You've probably heard Lucifer described as pure evil, the devil, Satan, the enemy of mankind. But what if I told you that before the fall, Lucifer may have been the most admired being in all of heaven? Not a monster, not a demon, but a radiant figure associated with beauty, intelligence, music, power, and light itself. And here's the shocking part most people never think about. According to many interpretations, Lucifer didn't fall because he was weak. He fell because he became obsessed with his own greatness. That single idea changed heaven forever. By the end of this video, you'll understand who Lucifer was before he fell, why the rebellion in heaven began, how Lucifer became Satan, and why this ancient story still reflects human nature today more than most people realize. But first, you need to understand just how powerful Lucifer really was. Who was Lucifer before he fell? The name Lucifer means light bearer or morning star. Right away, that changes the image most people have in their heads. When people think of Satan before the fall, they usually imagine darkness, fire, evil. But ancient interpretations paint a completely different picture. Lucifer before he fell was believed to exist among the highest ranks of heaven. Some traditions describe him as a guardian cherub, a being created with extraordinary beauty and authority. Imagine the most charismatic leader, the most talented artist, and the most admired celebrity combined into one being. That's how many describe Lucifer in heaven. And this is where things get interesting. Lucifer wasn't created evil. According to traditional belief, he was created perfect, wise, powerful, radiant. That means evil wasn't his original identity. It became a choice. And honestly, that idea alone makes the story way more disturbing, because it suggests corruption can happen even to someone who once stood at the highest level imaginable. The fallen angel Lucifer was once glorious. Descriptions connected to Lucifer are incredibly dramatic. Ancient texts describe precious stones, brilliance, fire, gold, and overwhelming beauty. Some scholars even believe Lucifer had a role connected to worship or music in heaven. Now think about that for a second. A being surrounded by glory every single moment. Constant admiration, constant beauty, constant power. But here's the dangerous side of admiration. Eventually, some people stop appreciating attention and start believing they deserve worship. And this is where most people make a mistake when they hear the Lucifer story explained. They imagine evil appearing instantly, but pride usually grows slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. At first, Lucifer reflected glory. Then he wanted glory for himself. That tiny shift changed everything. And honestly, that's still how arrogance destroys people today. Not overnight, little by little. The moment pride entered heaven. Now this next part might surprise you. Many interpretations say Lucifer's downfall began internally long before the rebellion happened. Before actions came thoughts. Before rebellion came desire. Lucifer began to see his own greatness and compare himself to God. And comparison is dangerous. Because once someone becomes consumed by comparison, gratitude disappears. Suddenly what they have no longer feels enough. The story says Lucifer eventually wanted equality with God himself. Think about how massive that idea really is. A created being looking at infinite authority and saying, I should stand above all of this. That single thought became the beginning of the Lucifer fall from heaven. And here's what makes the story terrifying. Lucifer wasn't ignorant. He understood heaven better than anyone. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's why many people see the story as the ultimate warning about pride. Because intelligence without humility can become incredibly dangerous. Why did Lucifer fall from heaven? This is one of the biggest questions people search online. Why did Lucifer fall? Was it jealousy? Pride? Ambition? The answer is probably all three. The biblical story of Lucifer suggests he desired a throne that could never belong to him. And this is where the story becomes deeply human. Because people still destroy their lives chasing power, recognition, and control. History is full of examples. Leaders rise to greatness. Celebrities become worshipped. Business empires grow. Then slowly, ego takes over. They stop believing rules apply to them. And eventually, the very thing that made them powerful becomes the reason they collapse. That's why the origin of Satan still resonates today. It mirrors human behavior perfectly. And here's where things get even darker. Lucifer didn't rebel alone. Lucifer's rebellion changed heaven forever. According to many traditions, Lucifer convinced other angels to follow him. Think about how shocking that would have been. Heaven itself divided by rebellion. Some interpretations claim 1/3 of the angels followed Lucifer. Whether symbolic or literal, the message is clear. Lucifer wasn't only powerful. He was persuasive, charismatic, influential, and honestly, that's what makes the story unsettling. The most dangerous figures are rarely obvious villains in the beginning. They inspire people first. They sound convincing. They promise freedom, greatness, or power. And this is where most people make a mistake. They assume evil always looks ugly, but sometimes it appears attractive, confident, brilliant. That's part of what makes the fallen angel Lucifer story so powerful. It's not just about darkness. It's about deception. Eventually, according to tradition, war broke out in heaven. Lucifer and the rebellious angels were cast down, and the light bearer became Satan, the adversary. How Lucifer became Satan, a lot of people imagine Lucifer transforming instantly into the devil. But the deeper interpretation is far more psychological. The transformation began internally. The fall started in the mind before it became an action. That's why this story still fascinates millions. Because most destruction begins the exact same way. Quiet thoughts, hidden pride, unchecked ego, resentment, comparison, and little by little, someone becomes unrecognizable. Lucifer before he fell represented light. After the rebellion, he became associated with darkness. And maybe the most tragic part is this. He already had extraordinary power. He already held incredible status. But it still wasn't enough. That's why many people see Lucifer as a symbol of endless ambition without wisdom. And honestly, modern culture is filled with examples of that. People constantly chase more followers, more money, more validation, more power, even when they already have everything. The story of Lucifer almost feels timeless because human nature hasn't really changed. Was Lucifer the most powerful angel? Now this question sparks huge debates. Was Lucifer actually the greatest angel in heaven? Some traditions say Michael the archangel held the highest military authority. Others describe Lucifer as one of the highest-ranking beings because of his beauty, intelligence, and influence. But regardless of exact ranking, one thing stays consistent. Lucifer held enormous status before the fall, and maybe that's exactly why the story survived for centuries. Because people understand the danger of success without humility. Think about it. The higher someone rises, the easier it becomes to believe they're untouchable. Athletes, politicians, kings, tech billionaires. History constantly repeats the same cycle. Power creates confidence. Confidence becomes arrogance. Arrogance leads to collapse. That pattern is one of the biggest reasons the Lucifer story explained still dominates books, movies, and YouTube videos today. The hidden symbolism behind Lucifer's fall. Now this next part might surprise you. Many scholars believe the story works on two levels. One level is literal, a fallen angel cast out of heaven. The second level is symbolic. Lucifer can represent humanity's struggle with ego, temptation, and self-destruction. Think about how often people sabotage their own lives because they become consumed by pride. Relationships collapse, friendships end, careers implode. Not because people lack talent, but because ego took control. That's why the story feels strangely personal. Lucifer had everything: beauty, status, power, influence, and still wanted more. That desire became his downfall. And honestly, that may be the real reason people remain obsessed with the origin of Satan. Because deep down, many recognize parts of themselves in the story. The need for validation, the temptation of pride, the hunger for control. It turns a supernatural story into something deeply human. What the Bible actually says about Lucifer, here's something many viewers don't realize. The Bible never gives one simple chapter telling Lucifer's entire story from beginning to end. Instead, the narrative is built from multiple passages and centuries of interpretation. That's why debates continue today. Some scholars argue certain verses originally referred to earthly kings and were later connected symbolically to Satan before the fall. Others believe those passages reveal a deeper spiritual rebellion hidden beneath historical language. And this mystery is part of what keeps people searching for answers. Because the story sits at the crossroads of theology, mythology, philosophy, and psychology, it raises massive questions. Can pride corrupt anyone? Can power destroy wisdom? Can someone who once represented light become consumed by darkness? Those questions still matter today, and maybe that's why the story has survived for thousands of years. Why Lucifer's story still matters today, you might wonder why an ancient story about a fallen angel still dominates modern culture. Simple, because the themes never stopped being relevant. The danger of pride, the corruption of power, the temptation to place ourselves above everything else. And this is where most people miss the deeper lesson. The story isn't terrifying because Lucifer was evil from the beginning. It's terrifying because he started out magnificent. That means downfall can happen to anyone who loses perspective. Even the brightest light can collapse into darkness if ego takes control. That idea hits hard because it applies everywhere. Relationships, careers, leadership, fame, everyday life. The story of Lucifer before he fell continues to survive generation after generation because it warns people about something timeless. Unchecked pride can destroy even the greatest among us. And maybe that's the most shocking truth of all. Lucifer didn't begin as a monster. According to the story, he began as one of heaven's brightest creations. And in the end, it was his own ambition that became the reason for his fall. If this video changed the way you see Lucifer's story, then you'll definitely want to watch the next breakdown where we explore the war in heaven, the fallen angels, and the mysteries surrounding Satan's rebellion in even greater detail. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the biblical story of Lucifer, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around because the next story gets even darker.